Hey guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host Donald Wonder, and I want to do an anime review for a newer title because the year of Lupin is not new, and actually looking back on 2016, I don't think I spoke about one newish title this year. So I guess I've kind of let you guys, I know you guys wanted me to speak about anime titles, but I was focused on Lupin. No one's touched Lupin in much detail, and I just wanted to give that franchise some focus. I think it deserves it, to be honest with you. And now I do want to speak about this movie, Your Name, as you can see, because this movie, it really stood out to me because of the hype it is getting. It is, at the moment of this recording, I think it's the second biggest movie in Japan ever, behind Spirited Away, selling this. I think, is it the second movie ever, the second biggest budget selling movie. And there's big Oscar talk. I know Funimation have got the rights for it, and they're trying to shop it around in American theaters to get it for an award. Now in Japan, it's becoming a massive craze. There's a lot going behind it, and I actually managed to get to see a screening of it here in London at I forgot where it was. I'll put it on the screen in one of the Cineworlds. It is really hard to see an animated feature in the cinema in general in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, I spoke to my American friends, but in England it is really hard. And because this anime was getting so much hype, so much praise, this is the best animated movie of the year, it's going to be Oscar nominated, my hopes were pretty high. And I saw the trailer, which I'll put a link. If you ain't seen the trailer, watch the I put the English trailer in. There's an English trailer out so you can see what it's about. I saw the trailer and I thought to myself, I'm not a fan of rom-coms or rom-dramas. I don't know. It looks okay. And the director, Makoto Shinkai, I've actually watched a few of his movies. One of them I really like, so I was very open to it. So I'm going to give a little bit of spoilers on the movie, guys. Just a little bit. I'm not going to get too much into deep spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, check it in your local theater. I'm never promoting piracy, but it's actually floating around online as well. Some of my friends have seen it as well. And I didn't love the movie, to be honest with you. I really didn't. But again, this isn't my kind of thing. I've seen it so many times in anime. But if you guys don't know what it's about, this is a story about a young boy, a young girl. They're both teenagers. And basically, when the story starts, one of them, the boy is in the Tokyo city, and this other girl is in a rural area. And in the beginning of the movie, they're kind of switching bodies, and they don't know why. They wake up in each other's body, and they're both kind of jealous of each other's lives, because one wants to be in the city, wants to be in the town, and they start helping each other out in their lives, and it's very earnest and kind of playful. Now, one of the big claims to fame is the animation in this movie is very well done. I mean, the director, Makoto Shinkai, he does very well. If you see his other movies like 5 centimeters per second and The Voices from a Distant Star, and another one I'm forgetting, I think it was A Place Promised in our early days as well. His animation style is really good. The animation team that works on his movies are really good. But the stories, again, if you're a big fan of anime, you've seen these kind of relationships, these kind of stories with a love that doesn't work out, young children going in the past or something tragic happen. And in this movie, there's a tragic element to it, which I'm not going to get into to spoilers. But when I finished watching the movie, I came away feeling that it's really kind of generic. I mean, if you've seen a lot of anime TV series have touched upon these themes before. I mean, there's a lot of themes with appreciating what you have and not understanding your situation. And I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook about this, and he was saying that I think a lot of people, this movie might appeal to a lot of people because of the gender dynamics. And I would have said yes, but they don't explore that in this movie a lot, because we're living in a time of lesbian, gay, LGBT awareness. We're trying to be more conscious of that. And in this movie, I guess they had the opportunity for a male to explore a female's life, and and they don't really touch upon that too much. There's one or two playful elements with the guys touching the breasts, and the woman knows she's got a penis now, and that's all played, but they don't get too deep into it. And that was an opportunity, but I guess that would have taken away from the narrative. But really, this is a story about a romance, about these people having the connection and the strings of fate. And there's you know, there's this big question of why are they being drawn to each other, why are they switching bodies, and how does this tragic event bring them together. And honestly, man, I just, by the end of it, it was just, I don't know, man, it was kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie, there were so many scenes of a character running to stop this calamity happening, and they're falling down and they're getting back up, or they're trying to reach this place, they're trying to reach their love, and it goes on and on. I'm like, oh, it's one of them movies, huh? I feel like it's kind of catered to a certain audience. And you know, I'm a romantic, guys. I said this before, I like romance and drama, but if it's done intelligently, and honestly, this is one of those movies that I just feel it's kind of reaching for the tissues, and it's not very deep. But one of the reasons why this movie is getting a lot of praise, and it's because the animation style, Mr. Shinkai, he actually took this animation style is taken with photography, and there's animation drawn on top of it, so it gives it a nice 3D deep layered feel. And because of that, this movie has got a lot of notoriety because they use real pictures from real scenes. A lot of these real places that the animation is drawn from, fans of the movie are going there, they're taking pictures there, and it's another level of immersion. You know, you can go to the place where these two were looking at each other and they were staring at each other's eyes, and it's very romantic. But for me, I don't live in Japan, so I can't get that experience. And even if I did, I really wouldn't care. I mean, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but it's nice. I don't think they intentionally did that to sell tickets or make it immersive. It's cool, and the animation is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. If you can see this on the big screen, the landscapes is beautiful, but it's not a science fiction movie. A lot of what you're seeing is just landscapes and city, and it looks beautiful. And again, the Japanese are fantastic at animation, and even the TV animes look fantastic. So you got a high budget movie, it looks gorgeous. So, but I came away from the movie thinking, is this what all the hype is about? I mean, people are saying this should be nominated. Some people I really respect, like, you know, Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer, she promoted this movie. This is the best animated movie. The best animated movie for me this year is still Kubo and the Two Strings. I'm sorry, from an animation level, from a story level, and even that's a simple story, but that had a lot more heart in that story than this for me, because this is just a simple, not a simple love story, but it's a love story where you can see where it's going. It's predictable. The climax is predictable. I don't want to say the twists and turns, you kind of know it's going to end, and there's a trope at the end that's got to do with people forgetting things that's happening, that just keeps on happening, that really irritated me. And look, man, I'm not going to hate on anyone for liking this movie, but honestly, this movie doesn't have a lot of substance to it. It has gorgeous animation, but apart from the gorgeous animation, it has a romance story that has a twist on it with this body switching and maybe some time elements there that make it a unique story, but it's not mind-blowing by any measure. And I just don't think it's a story that really stands out, and I definitely do not think this is a movie that deserves an Oscar. I'm sorry. Honestly, this just feels like an anime series I've seen so many times. I really don't want to shit on it, but I'm kind of perplexed why this is getting such crazy hype. But this happens in the anime community all the time. Well, I would say the anime community, but in Japan, it's getting rave reviews. In America, it's climbing, and I'm sure you're going to hear about it more and more as Funimation are working on the dub, and it's getting marketed really well, and people want to make money off this movie. But I don't know, man. There's so many anime movies over time I feel like deserved more praise than this. Like I liked The Wolf Children. I thought it was a nice family movie. I thought, so Takeshi Kun, I mean, him as a director, if you want to talk about directors that movies are phenomenal, I love this guy's movies. He passed away a couple years ago, a while ago, and it just really breaks my heart. And the reason why I bring up Takeshi Kun on this is because this movie is, I'm looking at my iPad now, I'm looking at the notes here, all over the internet, I'm hearing Makoto Shinkai is the next Hayao Miyazaki. He's the new Ghibli. His movies are just so good. If we look at Makoto Shinkai's back catalogue on IMDb, I beg to differ. His movies, like The Place Promised in Our Early Days and Voice from a Distant Star, they're all love stories. You know, they really are. I don't know. Look, there's not a lot of anime directors that get a lot of limelight, that get a lot of international fame. And Makoto Shinkai has done a few movies that are interesting, but he's not Hayao Miyazaki. And to be honest with you, I don't know why people keep on saying that the few Japanese animators that make movie-length features are the new Miyazaki. No, they're not. Just like in America, where you've got Steven Spielberg or Quentin Tarantino or Christopher Nolan, you know, you've got a range of directors that are different. I think the only other animator that could take the reign from Hayao Miyazaki is the guy who did Grave for the Fireflies. He works in Studio Ghibli as well, but there's no one has Hayao Miyazaki's storytelling style and art style. Makoto Shinkai has his own style, but it's not on par with Studio Ghibli, because to me his movies always miss the mark. I mean, I like Voices from a Distant Star. I love that movie, and it's only half an hour. It's a short movie. I think that's still his best movie. 5 centimeters per second, and Voices and The Place Between Our Promised Days, whatever. Those two movies are another romance. Again, are very similar with this romance theme with these teenage characters that, again, just like this movie, kind of misses the mark for me. And out of all these movies, I think this is one of his weakest ones on the story level. On the animation level, his best one. On the story level, it's meh. It's the definition of meh. If I had to give this movie a rating, it's just okay. It's just watchable. And I hate shitting on anime, especially anime that are trying to make it big in the Western world, because there's so much creativity. And I think, especially when we come to the American Oscars, Americans just, I've said this before, Americans are promoting what they do. Pixar, Disney, the same thing. So I do want to see anime movies get nominated, but only when it's deserved. And again, I still think Kubo was a better movie than this for different reasons. They're not the same kind of movie, but I think this movie is really overhyped. And again, I went out of my way to watch the movie, and I was expecting a lot more, but you know, honestly, I got what I expected from the trailer and nothing more. All this hype is a little bit overblown. If it won for best movie, I would be disappointed, but you know, your mileage may vary. So guys, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for criticizing this movie, because people love this movie and it's about love and tragedy. Hey, I'm a romantic and I want to see this shit done right and done awesomely. This movie is meh. Animation great, story meh. They missed the opportunity to talk about real gender dynamics. I honestly don't think that was the intention at all. This was just a love story with a science fiction fantasy twist, which was gorgeous to look at. But again, this is a movie you watch at home. You watch at home, and Makoto Shinkai is not the next Hayao Miyazaki. I'm sorry, his storytelling is lacking in a lot of different places. But from an animation level, you know, he's definitely up there. I will say that. But you know, there's so many different directors. Why does every Japanese director have to be the next Hayao Miyazaki? No. They can be the next, like I said, they can be the next Christopher Nolan, or you know. And I said this before, Satoshi Kon, if I'm saying his name right, this guy was so great. I mean, his catalog is phenomenal, and you know, so many of my anime fans, my anime crew on YouTube just say how great this guy was, and he was a visionary in storytelling and animation. And I'm yet to see another director, you know, he was on the same level as Hayao Miyazaki, Satoshi Kon. Makoto Shinkai, not really, but he makes entertaining movies. So I've rambled on long enough, and I'm now going to get a lot of hate for criticizing the hottest animation movie of 2016. But as usual, guys, that's my opinion, and I'm a picky bastard. I take that full on. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. And I know it's ironic, the only new anime I'm talking about I'm shitting on, but again guys, I always call it as I see it, and you know, I'm critical, so that's just my opinion. What can I say? Guys, hit the links on the screen that YouTube are suggesting to you, because you know, YouTube thinks you like the videos, and I think you will too. So click on those links, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, which will be very soon. Take care. Peace out.